today is all about law enforcement. So when we return, I will have none other than the chief of police from Linden, Alabama, sitting down with me. And when we come back, we will be peeling back the mask on law enforcement and what we need to do to change the mindset that most people have towards law enforcement in 2021. So we will be right back. We're back, guys, and I am here with my phenomenal guest tonight, Mr. Robert Alston, the Chief of Police from Linden, Alabama. Thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's get this thing started. How long have you been in law enforcement?
About 18 years.
18 years. So what inspired you to get into law enforcement? Because that's a rough job.
Yes, it is. I had a friend come by the house one day and say, "Hey, we need to try law enforcement." And I said, at first I was very apprehensive.
How old were you at that time?
I was in my mid 20s.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was apprehensive, and I was like, okay. He was telling me about some of the things that they do during law enforcement, and it sounded like something that I wanted to, try. So once I got into it, I was intrigued by how they do things, At first, like in a young person, when they get into law enforcement, they think, I want to lock up the bad guys, I want to go on police chases, and stuff like that. But once I got into it and I matured into it, I saw that there was need to help people, a need to find solutions to the problems that they're having, and there are people that are supposed to go to jail when they have to go to jail, but there are also people, who are hurting or going through things, and there are reasons why they commit these crimes, and I want to find out deeper why, so we can help prevent some of this.
Because it's always a why.
Yes.
So I'm gonna stick with that. It's always a why to individuals doing certain things they do.
Right.
It's something behind that. What would you say to someone that is have second thoughts about it? Have maybe looked into it, but they don't think that they're a good fit. But what would you say to somebody? And that could be a man or a woman.
Do your research first. Find out, is this something that you want to commit to? Because law enforcement is, once you get into law enforcement, I call it get bit by the bug of law enforcement, you kind of get stuck in it. And, if you're in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
You to actually, do good and help people, and you're going to be in it for, until you retire.
Exactly. That should be your plan.
Right. That
should be your plan. With the most recent events that we've had since 2020, how do you look at crime and social injustice in 2021? Because it's kind of, since 2020, crime has always been there.
Right.
A lot of people say because we have cameras and the internet and all these extra things now, that's why we get to see so much of it. I think part of that is true, but I think the other part may be we've gotten to see a lot of it also. We were seeing a lot of it before, we was just ignoring it.
Right.
And now it's like in your face.
Right.
How do you look at the way crime is? And that's not just for Alabama, just worldwide.
Well, crime in America is definitely on the rise. I think that the social injustice part of it, cops today, they're getting into the law for the wrong reason, I think. I feel like some of them are getting in there just for the glory of it, but
Are they too young? Because how old do you
I
have
was
to be?
in my
What,
life, so I was
18? Or you have to be a little older than 18 to apply?
Well, don't you be 21?
Oh, you have to be 21. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, don't you be 21?
I thought that if you were, once you graduated, you can apply to be in law enforcement, but you need to be at least 21.
Right, you think about it, it's kind of hard to arrest somebody for being in possession of alcohol underage when you are underage.
That's true.
You know, so.
Ooh, I didn't even think of it. Because I sure, because all I'm thinking about is a job, and you got a high school diploma
Right.
and a little college hours, you can go ahead and get up on that.
Right.
I never thought about that.
So,
Okay.
it has to make sense. So.
Yeah. I never thought about it. You made me really think, ooh.
Right.
I never thought about it like that.
That's right.
At all. We're going to take a quick break, guys. And when we return, we're going to continue on with Mr. Alston about his career in law enforcement. So we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Willie Adolph of the Adolph Group at Equity House Properties. I'm here today to talk to you about home purchasing. You know, a lot of times people want to know, where do we start, when do we start, how much do we need to save, what our credit score need to be like, can I really move in now? And the answer is yes. The thing is that you want to get pre-approved first before you even go house shopping, because what you wouldn't want to happen is that you find the perfect home, but the bank won't qualify you for your mortgage. So always get pre-approved first. So find a good lender, which we have a lot of resources for you on that. Second, you want to make sure that anything that's on your credit, if it's something that you can work with, let's work with it, because everything on your credit, you know, it depends on what it is for each mortgage company. And third, once you get that pre-approval, now it's time to go house shopping. Now, Willie, what about the money, the down payment and things like that? Well, they have a lot of programs that's out there. So based on your credit will depend on the down payment assistance that you can receive. But we do have a lot of resources and a lot of things that can help you. And everyone with the Adolph Group will hold you by your hand and walk you through the whole process. So you can contact us at www.theadolphgroup.com or 281-451-7087. And remember, when you have will, you have a way.
And we're back, guys. So let's kind of stay on that for just a second. Do you think some things need to change?
In law enforcement?
Law enforcement and the world, period. Because it's like, it's just crazy now.
Right. Well, people are looking for, right now, in my opinion, people are looking for law enforcement to make mistakes. You know, they're looking for, you know, the smallest thing, you know, that an officer does. And people forget that before we put this badge on, we were human, just like.
And you still, even with the badge on, you're still a human.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So, and we are that, you know, so it's kind of hard to, you can't turn the human side of this thing off, you know.
No.
You're not a robot, you know. We're going to make mistakes, you know, but we have to make sure we don't make mistakes that's going to cost somebody their life.
Or your life.
Oh, exactly.
Or your life. And that's what I've got that police departments around the United States since George Floyd want to clean up some things. Yes, some things do need to be cleaned up. But I think also on the other hand of that, it's to me right now nothing is balanced.
Right.
And I think on the other hand of that, you want to clean up stuff, but you're also stifling some of the training that officers have to protect themselves. And I don't know if it's in regular civilians don't truly understand how law enforcement works.
Right.
What the rules you go by as a police officer, what to properly do when you're stopped by a police officer. Because running is not the proper thing. I don't know why people do that, but running is not the proper thing to do at all.
No. That's definitely not the right thing to do. If you get stopped by the police, first thing you need to do is stop.
For real.
Just pull over and stop. Put your hands on the wheel and wait on the officer to get there. And don't make any sudden movements, because when the officer walks up to your car, his intention is for this traffic stop to be a safe traffic stop. For you to go home at the end of this traffic stop and for him to go home at this traffic stop.
Exactly.
Alright. So doing a lot of erratic stuff inside of the car, that is not a good idea. Just hold still. Just put your hands on the steering wheel, and whatever it is that he asks you for, you tell him what you're about to do to get it. If you got to reach into your glove box, say, officer, I'm reaching into my glove box to get my insurance.
Or if you have a weapon in the car, tell him that when you get to a window.
Definitely.
So it won't be no confusion.
That's right.
If he see it.
That's right.
I don't know. I've had this discussion with my friends, and I don't understand why. I don't know why that stuff cannot. It should be clear. Right. Is what I'm trying to say. And it's like with some people, it's not clear. It's you all are wrong.
Right.
And we right. It's like when you go to a grocery store and you bring something back, the customer's always right. No, that is not the case.
Yeah, most of them become instant attorneys. They know their rights.
Do you really know your rights? That's the thing.
I know the law. I'm like, okay, let's talk about it.
No, because you have to. At the end of the day, you have to comply.
That's right.
Am I right or wrong?
Definitely.
You have to comply with what a police officer is asking you, no matter if you're on the side of the street or whatever. You have to comply. If you tell him you refuse to comply, then what happens at that point?
That's right. It turns bad.
Yeah.
It turns bad, and complying makes it so much easier. It makes your encounter with the police so smooth.
It does.
That's right. If you're going to get a citation, get the citation. If you want to fight the citation, go to court and fight the citation. Don't try to argue on the side of the road.
Exactly. Exactly.
Most of these guys say, listen, we're not going to have court on the side of the road. Write you the ticket, and you only
because the side of the road is not the place to do any of that.
That's right.
It's not the place to do any of that. With you now being the chief of police for Linden, Alabama, you have decided to continue moving up the ladder and headed to break another glass ceiling, and you are running for sheriff.
That's right.
So what made you come to that? Because I'd be trying, if it was me, I'd probably be trying to retire. I'm not.
Well, I had a great person in law enforcement tell me one day that, hey, this is not your final destination.
Yeah.
You're going to do bigger things. And for a while, I didn't think that. I kind of felt like this was where I was supposed to be. But as time went on, I started to realize that, maybe there is another calling for me, and maybe I need to take what I've learned over the years and spread it over into a bigger area. Yeah. Spread my wings, so to say. And maybe I have something that I can offer to people out in the county,
Most definitely. So when we return, we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to come back and get ready to close out this segment. We're going to talk a little bit more about him running for sheriff, and we're going to talk about the things that he does in the community. So we'll be right back.
Do you have less than perfect credit? Are you getting denied for loans and credit cards? Well, contact us today for your free consultation and learn the secrets of financial freedom. We can help with late payments, collections, judgments, bankruptcies, will, trust, and more. We get results. Let us help you. For more information, contact Nikki Ferguson at 281-788-9462.
$100 on chicken nuggets?
$100 on chicken nuggets. Really?
How'd you get in my house?
I'm with Wisdom Tax.
Wisdom Tax, so you can help me with all of this.
Most definitely. Looks like you need help in bookkeeping.
So what about maximizing my refund?
We can only maximize your refund if you get organized. Here at Wisdom Tax and Financial, we teach you how to be free. 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 Free.
Free! Awesome! So I can be free of these receipts.
Most definitely. Please give us a call.
Thank you. Can you free yourself out of my house, please?
Only if you promise to give us a call.
I'll give you a call. So I can be free.
Wisdom Tax. Learn to be free.
And we are back, guys. And so, are you planning, once you run for sheriff, and I'm going to predict that you're going to win, are you going to continue on up the ceiling, up the glass ceiling, to get to that glass ceiling, or are you going to stop at sheriff? Have you thought about it?
I can't honestly say. I don't know.
You don't know.
It all depends on how things go. If I'm led to, you know, I will, you know, maybe look at something. But for right now, I think, you know, being the sheriff is a great honor for this county, and I would love to be that person to bring better, you know, things for this county, such as, well, honor. For one thing, back to the sheriff office, you know, I would love to bring that, you know, bring the respect level back. I want to bring unity back, and I think unity between the law enforcement and the communities has kind of gone away. And, you know, we need to bring that back.
Because most people do not trust law enforcement, and the way things have been going for the past couple of years throughout the United States, most people really do not trust law enforcement.
That's right.
Whatsoever. But they're the first ones come out if you need to call them.
That's right. And we got to change that.
Yeah, that
We got to bring trust back.
That definitely needs to be changed. What I know you do a lot of stuff in the community. Tell us about that.
Well, since I took over as chief of police in 2016, I developed some community-friendly events such as trunk or treat for the kids.
Is that like Halloween?
Right.
Okay.
Halloween, yeah. It's where we take. I get all the guys, all the units, and we decorate them, and we pass our candy to the kids. And it's been a success since I started doing this in 2016.
Because you don't get to see that.
Right, and you know, we usually line up somewhere right in town, and we turn on all blue lights, and kids they
love that. I don't know why.
I mean, I have hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of candy, just give them to them, you know, and they get a chance to go down to each officer and see each officer, you know, put a face with the name, you know, and they love it, and the citizens of town enjoy it as well.
I have a great nephew. He likes fire trucks. So, and he was one, I think. Could talk fairly well. One going on two, I do believe. Or he was already two. Every truck he saw was a fire truck.
Really?
And he would argue with my sister. So she say, "That's not a fire truck. That's a dumb truck. That's a fire truck." I'm like, oh my God, why is he obsessed with fire trucks?
Because it's a big vehicle.
Fire trucks, dump trucks, and he fascinated by that. Kids are fascinated by the lights and all that noise, and I don't know.
So when the parents have to bring the kids, so not only do the kids get to enjoy this, the parents get to interact as well, you know. But they go to thinking like, well, you know what? He's not a bad person.
Exactly.
That officer is not a bad person, you know. And that's what I want for my community here, the town of Linden. To understand that police are not here just to harass you or throw you in jail. You know, we are human just like you are.
So let's talk about the things you do in the community, because I know you do a lot in the community.
Yes. We do, like I said, we do the trunk or treat, which where the kids get to come out and see our dressed up cars. We done the school supply giveaway, where we just give out, I don't know, I guess it was like
Backpacks and
thousands
stuff
of
like
dollars
that.
worth of school supplies. Just give them backpacks and give them stuff such as that, and the community loved it, and they showed up big time. And I want to continue that outside of Linden as well. You know, maybe not the same.
Now I want to talk. We was on the road.
What you trying to say? Because I came here.
I feel the cough as you talking.
It's all right.
Okay, Connor, I'm sorry to put you under this pressure right here. So we're gonna start back there again, but don't say, don't tell me like I said. Don't say that, cause it's like you telling me this for the first time.
So we got to go back to the first time. I guess.
Yeah, we gotta go back to the first time. So I'm ready.
You ready?
Right. I'm tired. I'm listening.
You see, I'm.
3, 2, 1.
So tell me a little bit about the work you do in the community, because I know you do some work in the community as well.
Yes. When I took over in 2016, I decided that we need to figure out how to get the communities and law enforcement together. You know, get the people to come out and interact with the law enforcement. So we developed a...
So before you tell me what you developed, how hard was to kick that off and really get the community involved?
It wasn't as difficult as I thought, because it really wasn't anything actually being offered to the people, you know, before I took over.
Okay.
You know, so once I did offer something to them, they ran to it, you know, and it was a success. So we developed the trunk or treat, and we developed the back school supply giveaway, and it both events and them successful since 2016. And I want to take those and expand them out into the county. You know, the people out in the county really don't have that connection with the law enforcement today, and I want to change that. I want to bring that unity back there as well.
Because with law enforcement, you shouldn't just be needed when they call 911 and you come out. Law enforcement, firefighters, you should always be seen somewhere in the community.
Right.
Doing something. People should feel, because I know I had a situation in Houston, and instead of me calling the police department to ask, because I had a general question, I was just riding down the street and I saw 2 constables at the gas station. I just pulled up the gas station, walked up to that car, and and I just walked up to the car. I said, "Hey, this is what I got going on. What do I need to do?"
That's right. The community, I would say this: law enforcement officers are only as strong as the community. And what I mean by that is, if you can't get your community to talk to you, you can't find out a lot of things.
No, you won't be able to.
You know, so you got to build that trust with people who make them feel comfortable enough to come to you and talk to you. You know, and if you're not doing that, you're not going to get a lot of stuff accomplished like that.
No, you're not at
A
all.
lot of crimes will go unsolved. You know, the police are not there to see this happening. You know, so they got to rely on the community. And when there's no community relationship,
You're not
going to get anything done.
Nothing, and I don't know why people are. I don't know why people are like that, but what can we do? I guess to continue to bring them together.
You find a way to bring them together.
What would you say to young men that are headed down the wrong path?
There's another way. First, sit down with them and figure out how do they get to where they are. You know, then you figure out a solution to it. If you can't find a solution, maybe you need to go to somebody else to get some help to help them. You know, yeah, we can't solve every problem, but we can make efforts to help solve problems. You know, so you would get some outsourcing. You know, find out what they've been. You know, you never know what a kid been going through.
Yeah.
You know, what made him commit that crime. You know, find out why he did that crime, committed that crime.
And listen to what they're saying.
That's right.
Don't just chastise them.
Just don't go slam them down. And I have it all the time. People come to me. I want you to talk to my kid. You know, I want you to scare him to death. No, that is one thing I really don't. It's not so much of that. And I mean, yeah, you can put that fear in them for the moment. You know what I'm saying? But that don't last forever.
I don't think some of them today you can't put the fear in them no more.
That's right. So you want to fix that. You know, I tell parents all the time, do not try to scare your child with the police. You want your child to talk to the police, to find out what's going on with that child. You know, and there are other ways you can go about your life, you know, besides committing crimes, you know. So let's develop some stuff for them as well, you know, get some youth programs going, you know, so bring them kids in and just get some counselors in there, let's talk to them and figure out how we can change their mindsets.
And what they would like to do
right.
that they think they cannot do.
That's right.
Because they haven't seen someone of color do it, or they just haven't seen anyone do that.
They just ain't nobody just talk to them. You know, police show up, snatch them up, put them in jail.
Yeah.
Haul them off. We gotta stop. We gotta get away from that. You know, we got to get away from that.
Because the prison make money.
That's right.
Prisons make a whole lot of money.
That's right.
So that is crazy. Looking back, what would you have told the young you before you got into the police department? Let's do that first. What would you have told the young you before getting into the police department?
It is prior to me. Well, I would say this. I was raised by an older man. My dad was a little older, you know, so I had the ground roots in me, you know, as you know, coming up, you know, and the young me, you know, was never the getting in trouble type person, you know, because of the way I was raised. And I probably would have told myself, you crazy to get in law enforcement, but because of who I am and what I, you know, how I was raised, you know, to help people, to be there for people, you know, I'm glad I chose the path that I chose.
Okay, so what words of encouragement you would like to leave the world with, as well as Linden, Alabama? So what y'all do at Linden, Alabama first. What words of encouragement would you like to leave Linden, Alabama, and then the United States? Because I think they need encouragement.
I would say to my people in Linden to continue to strive to do even better things than what I have done. You know, don't just get stuck in what you see me doing, but create your own ways of reaching the people. You know, and doing great things for your community. You know? And for us, the United States,
besides pray,
you know, take a minute, do some self-check.
That part.
Do some self-check. Just don't look back and say, you know, this is somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
It's because that's not the case. You just look inside yourself first. Search your own soul, you know, and then you'll be a better person.
I like that. I might need to get you to write that down. We are done. But I want to say thank you so much for coming and sit down and talk with me while I was here in Alabama.
Thank you.
I wish you much success on your run for sheriff. I know you will be successful and awesome at it, and you're gonna work another Glass City. And I'm looking to get the notification that you won, so I can come back out here for the party.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I want to thank my phenomenal guest, Mr. Robert Alston, for being here with me today. He is the chief of police for Linden, Alabama. But when I return to Alabama, he will be the sheriff. So definitely watch out for him. But I want to thank him for being here with me today. If you need any information on him, contact the Our Life TV Show at gmail.com, or you can contact the OnPoint Network. Also, like, follow, share the Our Life TV Show. You can catch me every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on the OnPoint Network, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Xbox, and AT&T. Now in the Houston area, you can catch me on Access Cable 17 and 99 AT&T U-verse. Until next time, guys, I'll be back in Houston. Always empower, encourage, pull up to the table without fear, but with confidence, and continue to remove your mask.